teenage years are often referred to as years of rebellion. It's an age where most teens begin to discover themselves and want to do things differently. They crave independence from parents and are more inclined to yield to their peers. However, some of them live with certain challenges that require the support and care of friends and families for them to survive. Some already have tall dreams at this age and need the help of adults around to keep such dreams alive. In this edition, we bring you the amazing stories of 5 teenagers. So, let's get on the ride. A teenager that's not pregnant delivers a baby girl. Unbelievable, right? It sounds like a myth to deliver a baby without getting pregnant. Well, that is the story of these new parents. According to Dr. Kathleen Clem, who was in charge of the delivery, quote, "A baby was coming out of the teenage soon-to-be mother. She doesn't even know it," end quote. As seen in the picture below, her pants had to be cut with a pair of scissors to give the doctors opportunity to have easy access to the coming baby. Doctors are seen here tearing the pants apart with the aid of scissors. Here is the teenage mother whose pregnancy caught her by surprise, pushing hard for her baby to come out. Perplexed father taking a worried glance towards the labor room. He found it difficult to believe his daughter was pregnant. The teenager's father moves towards the labor room as cries of a baby were heard. It's a baby girl. In the labor room, he kept asking his daughter why she would get pregnant and not tell him about it. The daughter kept insisting she didn't know and couldn't have been pregnant. All along, her boyfriend sat outside and buried his face in his palms. Dr. Clem therefore approached him for a chat. He maintained that he couldn't have been responsible for the pregnancy, and when asked why he felt that way, he gave a hilarious response. "We only did it standing up, and my brother said you couldn't get pregnant in that position." Well, Doc went ahead to educate him and disabuse his mind of such myth. 2. The story of 19-year-old Ciera Swaringen, the teenager with unique birthmarks. Now, birthmarks are usually significant marks that appear on the body of a newborn at birth. For most people with birthmarks, it's usually in 1 or 2 places of their body, and most times covered when clothes are worn. Ciera's case is completely different. A native of North Carolina in the United States of America, Ciera Swaringen was born with oversized mole-like marks. These marks covered more than 60% of her body. According to medical practitioners, this rare medical condition affects 1 in every 500,000 people. Her condition is referred to as giant congenital melanocytic nevus, or GCMN in medical parlance. As a result of her condition, she's been bullied several times. Despite this, however, she remained optimistic about life. She has never considered the option of removing her birthmarks. Rather, she has come to accept herself the way she is rather than brood over her condition. According to Ciera, quote, "My birthmarks are constantly growing, and I often get new ones, but I'm hoping that will slow down as I leave my teenage years behind," end quote. Despite being told by doctors that operating the marks were not possible, as there are many of them with the likelihood of an increase throughout her life, Ciera continues to demonstrate huge confidence in her daily life. To confirm how confident she is in her body, she goes further to confirm she still wears shorts and t-shirts, especially in hot weather. According to her, she just needs to make sure she's being safe. The teenager who graduated from high school and works as a shoe store clerk confirmed that she struggled to overcome all kinds of remarks from people who could not hide their dislike for her bizarre condition. In one of her comments, she said that teenage boys are usually the first ones to comment when they see her. They say things like, "You look like you're dirty," or "Take a wash." She recalled that one of her high school classmates once called her a spotty dog. In order to retain her sanity and keep her confidence level, Ciera confirmed she has learned over time not to let the negative and cruel comments get to her. Number 3. Jordan Romero, the story of an amazing teenage mountain climber. Born in California in 1996, Jordan reached the summit of Mount Everest at the age of 13. Accompanied by his father, Paul Jordan, and stepmom, Karen, and a team of Sherpas, he succeeded in breaking the record of Ming Kipa, who reached the summit of Mount Everest at age 15. Ever since he broke this record, Jordan has gone ahead to break other records, especially that of British climber George Atkinson, who completed all 7 summits at 16 years old, when he climbed Vinson Massif in December 2011, thus becoming the youngest person in the world to complete 7 summits. He was only 15. Jordan's story is both impressive and inspiring. At an age where most of his friends are still being babies, he had already charted a course for himself as a mountain climber. He was just 9 when he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and within a period of 5 years and 8 months, he climbed the 7 highest mountains, 6 continents. Jordan says he was inspired to climb the tallest mountains of each of the continents of the world after seeing a painting in the hallway of his school that had those mountains. To date, he is the record holder of Mount Everest's youngest climber, a feat he achieved at 13. His current desire is to climb each of the highest mountains in the 50 states that make up the United States of America. Number 4, the story of Hunter Steinitz. This is the story of another teenager who was born with a rare condition, known as harlequin ichthyosis. This is a severe genetic disorder that mainly affects the skin. Usually people who live with this condition are born with very hard, thick skin that covers most of their bodies. The skin of the sufferers forms large, diamond-shaped plates that are separated by deep cracks. Parts of the body mostly affected are eyelids, mouth, nose, and ears. It also sometimes impairs movement of both the arms and legs. Her condition is one of the rarest, as only about 10 people are known to be living with this in all of the United States. The thickness of the skin occurs by the fact that the body cells produce at a very rapid rate. Thus, it's about 10 times thicker than that of a normal person. The skin is also much drier than the normal person's skin. Infants with this condition usually experience excessive loss of fluid and may develop infections that are life-threatening in their first few weeks. However, due to the advancement of medicine, infants now have better chance of surviving the period of infancy and live into young adults. Hunter is one of such infants who has lived well into her teenage years. Her skin is unable to absorb moisture, and as a consequence of this, she takes 2-hour baths and stays perpetually moisturized. Part of the effects of this skin condition is that she is also unable to sweat. As seen here, she has lost some of her hair as a result of blocked follicles. Oftentimes, people mistake her as a burn victim because of the appearance of her skin. Hunter desires to bring her condition to the public so that people who come into contact with her will have better understanding of it rather than dreading it. She has come to love and accept herself for who she is, and she wants to pass the message about the condition to everyone. Number 5, Magali Gonzalez Sierra. How does it feel when you see someone and you can bet you can successfully guess their age range? Okay, look at the person in this picture and tell me how old you think she would be. Maybe 70 to 75? The girl you're seeing right here is, wait for this, a teenager. Did I hear you say impossible? Well, I thought so too. Her name is Magali Gonzales Sierra. Magali is a teenage girl from Colombia who has progeria, otherwise called Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome, an extremely rare and fatal genetic condition. Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome is characterized by rapid aging and occurs in about 1 out of 8 million births worldwide. In other words, people who suffer from this condition age very quickly, and this aging process usually starts during their childhood. Progeria was first described in 1886 by Jonathan Hutchinson before being described independently later in 1987 by Hastings Gilford. The condition was later named after these two scientists as Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome. Most of the kids that have this syndrome develop symptoms within the first few months of life. Additional signs begin to show within 18 to 24 months after birth. As seen in the picture below, this 15-year-old girl already looked like a non-Agerian. She's already trapped in an old woman's body. It's not only her skin and appearance that are aging very fast, her internal organs too are not left out. In the picture above, Magali was marking her 15th birthday, called a quinceañera. This is particularly celebrated in parts of Latin America because it marks the transition of a young girl into womanhood. And it's a double celebration for Magali because no one expected she would ever live to be 15. One could say Magali is lucky to be alive at 15 because most people who suffer from this condition usually do not live longer than 13 years. Despite her health condition, there was still plenty of reason to celebrate. Although she can neither walk nor speak much, at 15 she has already surpassed all doctors' expectations. So, now you have heard and seen the amazing stories of the 5 teenagers we shared in this edition. I want to believe you've been inspired, motivated, surprised, awed, and challenged. The stories of Magali, Hunter, and Ciera are particularly inspiring because they live with uncommon health challenges which can be very depressing. But rather than allowing themselves to be depressed, they choose to rise above the challenges and live extraordinary lives. With respect of whatever you're going through, living positively is a choice you have to consciously make, and that is a great step to making the best of the situation. We hope you've enjoyed this video and that you stay connected with us for next time for other inspiring and uncommon stories. This was the TipTop channel by Showrop Productions, the 5 Uncommon Teenagers video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you want to stay tuned to the most interesting and thrilling facts and stories. Please like if you enjoyed the video and share with your friends on social networks. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.